back to Insight. Kristine Logan owns the appropriately named Kristine Logan Photography. She's benefited greatly while building her business from the Women's Entrepreneurial Opportunity Center. She's here to tell us about that experience. Well, first, let's tell people about your business. Kristine Logan Photography, what do you specialize in?
Well, I specialize in high school seniors and business portraiture, and I also do kind of a more intense version of a personal branding. So we don't just take the traditional headshot, we also develop the brand through photography. And then I also have a genre called modern women's portraiture. So it's like a Vanity Fair and style portrait with professional hair and makeup and styling, and then we take the most beautiful pictures and you have them forever and to pass down for future generations too.
I would like to have that done.
It's a lot of fun.
I think I need to come see you. I did look at your website. The pictures are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
They're stunning. And the headshots are modern.
Very
it's
much
not
so.
that, you know.
Yeah.
That was my version of an old
Realtor
headshot.
on a bus
Yes,
ride.
yes. You know, it's not that. It is very modern. I would guess that anytime you are starting a business, there are certainly hurdles and lots of things to think about, but especially a photography business, that's a hard business to get started into. There are lots of people that want to do it. There are a lot of people who probably don't have the skill level to do it, but they market themselves.
Yes.
So tell me how WEOC has helped you in your venture.
Well, first of all, they have just a multitude of programs that you can take advantage of. And depending upon where you're at in your business, I think you can find something from the starter level all the way up to the mature level. And I've been in business about 6 years. I guess this is my start of my 7th. And I've recently noticed that they've been offering things to challenge business owners who are also well established. So you can start with the startup phase, of course, but I'm in a mastermind group, which is wonderful, and I'm working in one that's going to be focusing more on the high income growth. So not just a small business, but people who have very high revenue goals and objectives that they want to hit. So they're matching us up based on where we're at and where we want to be, which is really, really great. So we're surrounded by other people like ourselves who have big plans, big goals, and they also help us with our commitment. So we make the commitment to say we're going to do this. We are responsible for following up with the group the next week on our checklist. Did we get it done? And that's a huge help in the mastermind group.
A lot of accountability.
Absolutely, it's all accountability.
It's so important because as a business owner, you can easily get distracted.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff to get done.
All the time, all the time. You're kind of a fireman, and if you're smart, you can do the preventative work instead of going from fire to fire and just putting out what needs to be done right away. But
you and I have been at a couple different WEOC trainings. I was at one last week, and somebody there said, you can't prioritize from your emails that are coming in.
Yeah.
And it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I have needed to hear that for the last 22 years, I think.
Was that the women's organizational one?
It was, yes,
yeah,
it was.
I was there as well.
That's so important.
That was one of the best ones I've heard, was just real practical solutions. It seems like it's common sense, but sometimes that gets lost when we're surrounded by so much noise in our businesses and our personal lives. And I think that was one of the best seminars that I had been to in a long time.
I thought it was fantastic. Now, you bring up a great point that they're not just for the startup business.
Right.
They're for those of you who have been in business for a while. They're not just for the small business.
Right.
They're for those of you who have great aspirations. So how did you get started with them? How do you start with WEOC?
I think the first thing to do is just make the phone call, and they will hook you up with the people who are best suited to help you with where you're at. Leslie Hill is the program director, and so I have known her and worked for her or worked with her for a number of years, and so that was just a real easy fit for me. But you can go on to their websites and see some of the other programs that they offer, and they can hook people up with funding opportunities and capital to just the business mentoring and training. So there's just really a lot of different things based on, again, where you're at. But I started with Leslie Hill, who is the program director.
She's a great person to start with. You can go to thenick.org and then go through them to get to WEOC, or you can just go inweoc.com or give them a call. We'll be right back.